Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Shadowing Practice. It is so good to have you here with me. This is day 3 of a 100-day shadowing challenge. Your commitment is amazing, and I'm so excited for today's session. Today, I want to share something that completely transformed the way I learn and speak English. It's a powerful method called the 7 Rules for Speaking English Fluently, created by AJ Hoge, the founder of the world-famous Effortless English System. You see, when I first started, I made the same mistakes so many of us do. I sat for hours memorizing long vocabulary lists. I studied confusing grammar rules in textbooks. I was trying to build perfect, flawless sentences in my mind before I dared to speak. But the result was always the same. Whenever I had a real opportunity to speak with someone, my brain would just freeze. I was constantly translating everything in my head from my native language into English. This mental translation made me sound slow, robotic, and it made me feel incredibly nervous. That all changed when I discovered AJ Hoge's method. It was like a light bulb switched on in my brain. His approach was the complete opposite of traditional school methods. And honestly, it's the advice I wish I had known from the very beginning. These rules are simple, but they are incredibly powerful. They're not about memorization. They are about retraining your brain to think directly in English. So today, we're going to dive into all 7 of these rules, one by one. Get ready. Repeat after me, shadow the sentences, and truly feel the meaning behind the words. We're not just practicing. We are building fluency together. Let's begin. All right, let's dive into the first big secret to fluency. Rule number 1, learn phrases, not single words. Think about it. We don't speak in individual words, do we? So instead of memorizing a list like make, decision, or mistake, you learn the complete chunk. Make a decision or make a mistake. When you learn this way, your brain automatically stores the words in their natural context. It's like building with pre-made blocks instead of tiny separate bricks. You'll find yourself speaking faster and more naturally because that's exactly how native speakers talk. We think and speak in these chunks. So my advice? Ditch those long, random vocabulary lists. Start collecting and learning phrases. It is an absolute game changer for making your English sound smooth and confident. Now, this next one might sound a little radical, but stick with me. Rule number 2, don't study grammar rules. I know, it goes against everything we learned in school. But as language expert AJ Hoge points out, you can't speak fluently if you're thinking about grammar. And he's absolutely right. When you're in a conversation, you just don't have time to pause and think, okay, is this past tense? Do I need a relative clause here? Your brain can't juggle all of that and still have a natural conversation. So what's the alternative? Listen. Just listen to how native speakers use the language and copy them. Your brain is designed to absorb grammar patterns naturally through repetition, just like how a child learns to speak their first language without ever opening a single grammar book. This leads perfectly into rule number 3, which is maybe the most important of all. Learn with your ears, not with your eyes. If you truly want to speak English well, you have to immerse yourself in the sounds of the language. Listen to podcasts, watch movies, overhear conversations every single day. So many of us learn by staring at textbooks, but that's not how language is meant to be learned. Think about a baby. They don't learn to read first. They listen. They listen for months, even years, building a deep, intuitive understanding before they ever say their first word. That listening process builds an incredibly strong foundation. It's how you naturally pick up the rhythm, the pronunciation, and the melody of the language. So remember, your ears are your greatest tool for fluency. We've covered the first 3 powerful rules today. Next time, we'll dive into rule number 4. Learn deeply, not quickly.
Let's talk about rule number 7, one of the most powerful ways to learn to speak English automatically. It's a special method called listen and answer mini stories. Forget about just passively listening and repeating words. This technique makes your brain active, not sleepy. You listen to a story, and then you have to answer questions about it. This simple shift forces you to start thinking in English instead of translating everything back and forth in your head. So how does it actually work? It's surprisingly simple. A teacher tells a very short story and then asks a lot of easy questions about it. Your job is to answer immediately without overthinking. For example, the story might be, there was a boy. He went to the store. Then the questions come fast. Was there a boy or a girl? You'd shout, a boy. Where did he go? To the store. This is active response training. This simple back and forth is what makes it so powerful. You don't have time to mentally translate from your native language, you just respond. It's the same way children learn their first language. They listen, they answer, they repeat thousands of times until speaking becomes completely automatic. If you practice this daily, your English will start to flow. Your reactions get faster, and your confidence skyrockets because you're not just memorizing rules, you're training your brain to perform. When I started applying these rules myself, the difference was huge. I genuinely stopped translating in my head. My speaking became quicker and more natural. These methods don't just teach you English, they teach you how to learn effectively and how to stay positive while you do it. Following these rules won't just improve your grammar, it will change how you think about learning itself. Remember, the goal isn't to study harder, it's to learn smarter. And finally, to speak neutrally.
And just like that, you finished day 3 of our English podcast shadowing practice. Fantastic work! Today was a big one. We dove into the 7 rules from AJ Hoge, a set of principles that can genuinely transform the way you learn and speak English. Let's do a quick recap of those 7 game-changing rules. First, learn phrases, not just single words. Second, don't get stuck studying grammar rules. Instead, listen and copy what you hear. Third, learn with your ears, not with your eyes. This is so important for your accent and flow. Fourth, practice deeply, not just quickly. It's about quality over quantity. Fifth, absorb grammar naturally through stories. Sixth, always focus on real, authentic English. And finally, number 7, use those listen and answer mini stories to start thinking directly in English. Now, the key is to apply these rules every single day. Make them a part of your learning habit. When you do, you'll notice a real shift. Your English will start to grow faster than ever before. You'll begin to think in English without translating. You'll respond more naturally in conversations, and you'll speak with a confidence that feels earned and real. And speaking of habits, that brings us to our next session. In day 4, we are going to tackle one of the biggest challenges for any learner: how to build unstoppable motivation and keep that positive energy high, even on the tough days. So until then, keep shadowing, keep smiling, and always remember, your future fluent self is waiting for you. They're cheering you on. We're getting closer every single day. I can't wait to see you for day 4. For now, keep shining with English. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode on motivation and positivity. Music swells slightly and then fades out.